Although Princess Diana passed away more than 25 years ago, her legacy continues to resonate deeply with people around the world. This enduring connection isn't solely due to the shocking and untimely nature of her death, but also because of the lingering uncertainties that still surround the circumstances. The devastating crash in Paris's Pont de l'Alma tunnel on that tragic night in 1997 not only ended the life of an international figure, but also sparked ongoing questions that remain unanswered to this day. Why was the vehicle traveling at such a perilous speed? Was it truly a case of the driver losing control, or was there an external force influencing the situation? Most crucially, who was pursuing Diana that night, denying her a final moment of tranquility? These lingering questions have never been fully addressed, and it is this ongoing silence that has fueled widespread belief that a deeper truth may be concealed behind what happened. If you find this story intriguing, leave a comment with the number 1. If not, type 0. Remember to like and share the video, and feel free to share your opinions in the comments. We're eager to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming exciting videos. Now let's jump right into the story. For decades, conspiracy theories have been woven deeply into every discussion about Diana. A large number of people believe her death wasn't just an accident, but rather the outcome of a deliberate scheme. They argue that because Diana defied the conventional role of a royal, boldly voicing her opinions and living more like an everyday person, she posed a danger to those intent on maintaining strict control over the status quo. Yet until now, no one connected to the case has come forward publicly. There has never been an official admission until Diana's son, Prince William, stunned the world. In a profoundly emotional moment, he broke down in tears while openly expressing his conviction about who was responsible for his mother's death. His words were not just those of a grieving son, but the heartfelt testimony of someone who grew up surrounded by loss and unanswered questions. That confession hit like a seismic shock, rattling the beliefs of millions. All the stage narratives and official statements suddenly seemed insignificant next to the raw emotions of a son yearning for the truth. William's revelation sent tremors through the royal family. This was far more than a private family issue. It was a truth with the power to reshape an entire generation's understanding of what truly unfolded behind the palace's majestic walls. Diana was always remarkable to the public, not merely for her royal title or striking looks, but for the genuine warmth and compassion she shared. She never hesitated to tackle difficult subjects or shy away from the suffering of others. Whether visiting hospitals, orphanages, HIV/AIDS clinics, or neglected poor communities, she arrived wholeheartedly not for show, but to listen and genuinely connect with every person she met. People admired her, not because of her royal status, but for her deep compassion. Her warm smile, caring gaze, and the way she would kneel to hold the hand of an ordinary patient all painted the picture of the people's princess, as the late Prime Minister Tony Blair famously described her. To the public, she was more than a symbol. She was a living embodiment of hope and kindness amid a world often marked by injustice. Beneath that strong exterior, however, was a lonely woman. What once appeared as a modern fairy tale marriage to Prince Charles gradually turned into days filled with sorrow and heartache. Diana endured coldness, betrayal, and the rigid expectations of the royal family, which left her feeling more and more isolated. Many nights were spent in tears, and she often expressed the pain of feeling pushed aside in her own life. Above all, she was a devoted mother pouring her entire heart into her two sons. William and Harry were her reason to keep going and to keep fighting. She taught them to love deeply and to view the world with compassion, not from a royal throne. Her maternal love was so profound that even after her death, her influence continues to shape their lives and choices. That's why William's tearful confession is more than just a revelation of truth. It's a final act of safeguarding the memory of their mother, a woman who loved him without condition, but never received the protection she desperately needed. Despite the many challenges Diana faced throughout her life, she consistently put her two sons, William and Harry, at the heart of everything. Guided by unconditional love and a strong maternal instinct, she did whatever it took to protect and raise them in her own unique way, breaking from royal traditions like never before. Diana believed that for William and Harry to grow into good people, they needed to truly understand the real world, the world of everyday people. She didn't want her sons to become golden cages on legs, isolated from reality and trapped by the rigid traditions of royalty. Instead of allowing their lives to be restricted by protocol, she created simple but meaningful moments, taking them to fast food restaurants like any other kids, holding their hands during walks in public parks, and arranging spontaneous trips beyond the official royal agenda. Those seemingly small moments became treasured memories for William and Harry, times when they could experience life like any other children, moments their mother genuinely listened, laughed, and connected with them without the constraints of protocol or watchful eyes. For the two princes, these were unforgettable proofs of a mother's love, a love that no royal title could ever replace. Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1, 1961, near Sandringham, England. She hailed from an aristocratic lineage as the daughter of Edward John Spencer VIII, Earl Spencer, and Frances Ruth Burke Roche, who later became Lady Frances Shand Kidd. When her father inherited the title of Earl Spencer in 1975, Diana earned the courtesy title Lady Diana Spencer. Her family included 4 children, 2 older sisters, Jane Fellows and Sarah McCorquodale, and a younger brother, Charles Spencer, who later became the 9th Earl Spencer. Another brother, John, tragically died shortly after birth, just 1 year before Diana was born, leaving a quiet void filled with grief in the family. Both of Diana's grandmothers, Cynthia Spencer and Ruth Roche, served as ladies-in-waiting in the royal household, directly attending Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Because of this, although she was not born in a palace, Diana was raised surrounded by aristocratic influence and the constant presence of royalty. However, her childhood was far from the peaceful life often associated with aristocracy. Her parents' marriage was filled with deep conflicts, partly because of the pressure to have a son to inherit the title. Before her younger brother Charles was born, her mother Frances faced intense pressure from her in-laws, an issue that played a role in the marriage's collapse. In the end, Diana's parents divorced when she was still very young. After the divorce, Diana's father gained custody of all 4 children. He later remarried Reine, the Countess of Dartmouth, a woman Diana never really got along with. Their tense relationship lasted for many years and was one of the reasons Diana felt her childhood was unhappy. She described her upbringing as extremely unstable, emotionally empty, and cold. Diana attended Riddlesworth Hall, a private girls' school, before transferring to Westheath School, where she continued her education through her teenage years. Although she wasn't known for outstanding academic achievements, she always stood out for her kindness, sensitivity, and empathy. These traits later became the foundation of the unique role she played in the public eye, a princess who was approachable, genuine, and possessed a rare, compassionate heart. Though a somewhat shy girl, Diana always had a special love for music and dance spaces where she found joy and freedom. After finishing her studies at the Alpine Institute in Switzerland, she moved to London, working first as a nanny and later as an assistant at a kindergarten. Her passion for children was clear both in her job and in the way she lived her life. Diana first met Prince Charles when he was dating her sister, but it wasn't until 1980 that they truly grew closer and began a relationship that captured massive media attention. Despite their 13-year age gap, they became engaged just a few months later. Charles proposed with a stunning sapphire ring inspired by Queen Victoria's jewelry. This proposal marked the start of one of the century's biggest events, their royal wedding on July 29, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral, watched by more than 1 billion people around the world. Diana's wedding dress, decorated with thousands of pearls and a 25-foot-long veil, became an iconic symbol of the era. After the wedding, Diana officially became the Princess of Wales and entered a royal life filled with pressure. However, instead of merely following protocol, she created her own path, becoming a voice for the vulnerable. Diana became well known for her compassion and charity work, especially with the homeless HIV/AIDS patients and disadvantaged children. She never hesitated to get close to people, touching their lives with genuine compassion and breaking through the barriers traditionally upheld by the royal family. Her life was a mix of fame and sacrifice, glamour and quiet pain. Above all, she is remembered as a woman with a kind heart, always choosing love despite royal expectations. Everyone who knew Princess Diana, whether through photos, media, or stories, held deep admiration for her. Her gentle beauty, grace, and compassion made her an icon beyond any royal limits. Yet on one fateful night, everything changed forever. On the night of August 31st, 1997, the world was stunned by the news that Princess Diana, a beloved woman known for her compassion and tireless charity work, had died in a tragic car accident in Paris. She was only 36 years old. The crash took the lives of Diana, her boyfriend Dodi Al-Fayed, and their driver Henry Paul. According to official reports, Henry was driving under the influence of alcohol and speeding to escape the relentless pursuit of paparazzi chasing them. Dodi Al-Fayed was the son of billionaire Mohammed Al-Fayed. After Diana divorced Prince Charles, she and Dodi began a romantic relationship. They spent the summer together, enjoying time on a yacht along the French Riviera. But when they returned to Paris, their private life remained under the constant watch of paparazzi. That evening, they stayed at the Ritz Hotel owned by Dodi's family. After a late dinner to avoid media attention, they left the hotel through a back exit, got into a black Mercedes, and headed into the night. Just minutes later, the car sped through the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, chased closely by flashing camera lights and the roar of pursuing photographers' engines. The car lost control and crashed violently into a concrete pillar inside the tunnel. Dodi and the driver died instantly. Diana was still alive when taken into the ambulance, but did not survive. Her death was not only a heartbreaking loss, but also the start of countless questions, doubts, and conspiracy theories that have lasted for decades. Why were they being chased so relentlessly? Was Henri Paul really drunk? And was it just an accident? Or was there something more behind it? Footage from the hotel's security cameras showed Henri Paul walking normally with no signs of intoxication, as the initial reports claimed. From there, public skepticism grew. Was this really just a traffic accident? Could Princess Diana's death be the result of a hidden truth never revealed? The big question remains: why would an experienced man like Henri Paul, the security chief of a prestigious hotel, make such a risky decision? Why would he drive in a dangerous state, carrying one of the world's most famous and beloved women just to escape a few photographers? For many, the simple explanation is that it was an accident caused by reckless driving under the pressure of the media. But for independent investigators and conspiracy believers, the picture is different, deeper, more complex, and more unsettling. One of the most controversial theories is that the crash was not a random event, but the result of a carefully planned conspiracy. Supporters of this view believe that powerful forces did not want the relationship between Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed to continue. A relationship between a royal family member and a wealthy Middle Eastern Muslim, according to some, was unacceptable to the conservative British elite at the time. Dodi's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, publicly accused the British royal family of interference, fearing that the monarchy's reputation and image would be damaged if Diana married someone outside the white Christian aristocracy. He claimed that his son and Diana were planning to marry and even suggested she was pregnant. Although no concrete evidence has ever been found to support this, his statement sparked a strong wave of suspicion and doubt. Despite widespread suspicions, the official French investigation in 1999 and the subsequent British inquiry in 2008 both concluded that the accident was caused by drunk driving combined with excessive speed. However, conspiracy theorists argue that the investigation reports failed to clarify all the unclear aspects of the case details that led them to question the true transparency of the entire process. One of the unresolved mysteries is the presence of a white Fiat Uno. According to witnesses and physical evidence, this car is believed to have lightly collided with the Mercedes carrying Diana just before they entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. This Fiat was never found. The driver never came forward. Even more strangely, the white paint found on Diana's car, the most crucial evidence to trace the incident, mysteriously disappeared from police storage before the audit. The disappearance of this evidence has fueled public suspicion. If it was truly just a traffic accident, why was such a crucial detail not properly preserved? And if no one intended to cover anything up, why have so many related data vanished or become inaccessible? Moreover, another strange detail intensified the doubts. The security cameras at the tunnel entrance, which should have recorded the entire accident, stopped working exactly at the time of the incident. This technical failure was eerily coincidental. Conspiracy theorists call this the time blackout, the moment when the truth that should have been preserved completely disappeared. Suspicion deepened when Richard Tomlinson, a former MI6 agent, came forward. He claimed to have seen an internal document describing a plan to assassinate a high-profile figure by staging a car accident in a narrow tunnel. According to him, the description closely matched what happened at the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. While he did not directly confirm that this plan was carried out against Diana, his testimony sent chills and raised even more questions. However, official investigators dismissed Tomlinson's claims due to a lack of concrete physical evidence. They considered it mere speculation without legal basis. Yet for those who have always doubted the investigation's conclusions, the inability to uncover new evidence is itself a sign that something has been meticulously hidden. Diana was once the most closely watched woman on the planet, with every step of hers relentlessly pursued by the press and cameras. Yet in the most fateful moment, the moment that took her life, there was no footage, no sound, no concrete evidence. Just a chilling silence in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. It is precisely this silence, along with a series of unclear details, that has made Princess Diana's death one of the most haunting mysteries of the 20th century. And even now, many years later, that question quietly remains in the hearts of millions: what truly happened that night. Diana was once the most closely watched woman on the planet, with every step of hers relentlessly pursued by the press and cameras. Yet in the most fateful moment, the moment that took her life, there was no footage, no sound, no concrete evidence. Just a chilling silence in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. It is precisely this silence, along with a series of unclear details, that has made Princess Diana's death one of the most haunting mysteries of the 20th century. And even now, many years later, that question quietly remains in the hearts of millions: what truly happened that night. Meanwhile, the coroner's office revealed that Diana's seatbelt was not fastened properly, a crucial factor contributing to her tragic death. This raises the question: how could a mother who always protected her children with all her heart be so careless? Some media analysts argue that blaming her for not wearing a seatbelt was merely an attempt to divert public attention away from the gaps and mistakes in the official investigation. The deeper we dig into the matter, the more complex and mysterious the web of interests surrounding Diana becomes. There are media corporations exploiting her image, for-profit politicians trying to cover up scandals linked to the royal family, and even extremist groups opposing relationships between Muslims and Christians. All of these seem to form a secret curtain shrouding Diana's death. The first three witnesses at the accident scene, Dr. Frederick Malls, photographer Ronald Ratt, and taxi driver George Barman, initially testified that there were hardly any paparazzi around the tunnel area, completely contradicting media reports. They even described the scene as empty and strange. However, later, two of them retracted their statements, making the story even more vague and confusing. More than 2 decades have passed, with 4 major investigations and thousands of pages of documents released. Yet the official conclusion remains that it was a simple accident. However, every year, as millions of flowers are laid outside Kensington Palace on the anniversary, as Diana's unpublished diaries continue to capture public attention, and as Prince William and Prince Harry gradually express doubts about the integrity of the case files, the story behind the princess's death continues to smolder like a flame that refuses to be extinguished. Perhaps that is why every clue, no matter how small, has been relentlessly pursued, drawing endless attention from the public and the media. People don't just want to know who caused the Mercedes to speed out of control on that fateful night. They also want to uncover who silenced the compassionate heart of the people's princess. Because when Diana left us, the world lost not only a fashion icon and a symbol of compassion, but also a powerful voice, a resilient emblem in the fight against injustice and prejudice. And even now, her story remains an unsolved mystery, waiting for the day the truth will finally be revealed. Diana lost a hand that once reached out to AIDS patients at a time when the world was filled with prejudice and stigma. That loss, along with the unanswered questions, turned the accident into a deep scar in the memory of both England and the global community. Until the full truth is revealed, the story behind her death continues to haunt and inspire those seeking justice worldwide in their relentless journey to find answers. Many people are dissatisfied with the simple explanation that it was just an accident. Mohammed al-Fayed, father of Dodi al-Fayed, is one of the strongest proponents of conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death. He claimed that Diana and Dodi were assassinated by British intelligence, possibly under the orders of Prince Philip, to prevent Diana from marrying a Muslim and having his children. Mohammed al-Fayed also asserted that Diana was pregnant and that the couple planned to get engaged. Some believe that Henri Paul, the driver of the Mercedes, was an agent of British or French intelligence, and that his alleged intoxication was either exaggerated or staged. The absence of crucial CCTV footage related to the accident and the chaotic circumstances surrounding Diana's death has fueled widespread suspicion. Although there were 16 cameras installed in the tunnel where the crash occurred, none of them were operational at the time. A popular theory involves eyewitness testimonies describing a strange flash of light just before the accident. Some witnesses, like Francois Levestre and American tourist Brian Anderson, reported seeing a dazzling flash as Diana's car entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel. Levestre stated that he saw a flash in the rear-view mirror that could have disoriented the driver. However, inconsistencies in Levestre's testimony, along with his 1989 fraud conviction, have undermined his credibility. His wife also disputed his account, and no other witnesses mentioned seeing any such flash of light. A detailed reconstruction of the accident found no evidence of any spark or flash, concluding that the car lost control before entering the tunnel. Another theory revolves around Diana not wearing her seatbelt on the night of the accident, despite regularly doing so while driving. This raised suspicions of possible sabotage or interference. The 26-minute delay in transporting Diana to the hospital also sparked controversy, leading some to suspect intentional delays in the emergency response. Finally, in 2013, a former soldier of the British Royal Airborne Regiment SAS, known as Soldier N, claimed that the SAS was involved in orchestrating Diana's death. This statement emerged during the trial of another SAS member. In response to these concerns, the United Kingdom launched a separate investigation called Operation Paget to clarify the allegations and suspicions surrounding the death of the Princess of Wales. The investigation, initiated by the British police in 2004, about 7 years after the accident, aimed to thoroughly review all conspiracy theories that had emerged since Princess Diana's death in 1997. This inquiry carefully examined all relevant evidence, including a letter Diana had written the events leading up to the crash, as well as the actions of those present and involved in the incident. In 2006, Operation Paget released its official findings. The investigation concluded that there was no evidence supporting any conspiracy theories. Similar to the earlier French investigation operation, Paget confirmed that the cause of the accident was the driver Henri Paul, who was driving under the influence of alcohol and at excessive speed. The investigation found no proof of an assassination plot against Princess Diana, and the crash was regarded as a tragic accident. Despite the official conclusion, many people remain unconvinced and continue to pursue conspiracy theories, particularly citing a letter Diana once wrote expressing her fear of a potential tragedy. Additionally, Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, has contributed to the public's heightened interest in the princess's private life. Paul Burrell worked very closely with Diana since 1987 and was considered her most trusted confidant. Diana once called him her greatest support during difficult times. After Diana's passing, Burrell revealed many private stories and hidden aspects of her life, giving the public a deeper insight into the real Diana beyond the royal glamour. If you find this story interesting and want to learn more, don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any more exciting videos. Now let's continue the story together. Burrell's revelations shed light on the loneliness and isolation Diana experienced despite being one of the most famous people in the world. She often felt unable to fully trust those around her, which contributed to the eating disorders she struggled with throughout her life. Burrell also revealed details about the turbulent marriage between Diana and Prince Charles, showing that behind the globally watched wedding were private difficulties and challenges Diana had to face. These insights helped the public better understand the hardships the Princess of Wales endured in her life and marriage. Even after more than 2 decades, Princess Diana's legacy lives on, surpassing any royal title. She was not only a fashion icon and a devoted mother, but also a beacon of hope for the forgotten and marginalized in society. From holding the hands of AIDS patients during a time of global stigma to her campaigns against landmines, Diana set a new standard for compassion and social responsibility. She inspired women to live authentically, love boldly, and face pain with courage. If you're interested in the real stories behind the royal glamour, don't forget to like and share the video and leave your thoughts in the comments below to help spread the truth to more people. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest videos about the lives, secrets, and hidden sides of the royal family. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next videos.